Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Legacies. This is episode 14 of season 3. That does mean that after this one we've got 2 more episodes, and that is season 3 concluded. So that is crazy. We're absolutely flying through it. It's madness. Can't believe we've done 3 seasons already. It's crazy. But you can vote for your most liked characters and most disliked characters in the description. I forgot the last 2 episodes, but they're back there now. So if you go to them ones late, the voting's there. If you go to today's, it will be there. So thanks for doing that. Can't wait to see your results in the end of the episode. And honestly, it's got really interesting now because Landon has returned as Landon himself. He did reveal to Hope that he has been back in the full-on present day, not in Malivore or wherever he was, for quite some time now. And obviously, she was mad that saying, you know, you've been back this whole time. And you see me with the other Landon, yeah, the fake Landon, and you didn't come over and say anything? Like, what are you playing at? And he was like, look, mate, I was in the exact same situation that you was in when you returned. You seen me with Josie, and you didn't want to come in, and you didn't want to destroy that. You seen that I was happy, so you took a step back, and you let it play out. That is what I done as well. I seen that you was happy with him, the perfect version of me, Landon, and I didn't want to come in and wreck it. But also, my time away, yeah, has been absolutely crazy. I've had to learn how to fight, how to defend myself. I've killed people. I've been tortured, you know. My mental state has been affected. All of these things played a factor, and I'm struggling to adapt to come back around lots of people. You know what? It's a fair, you know what I mean? You have to say it's a fair point that he's trying to make. I do understand it. And Hope was obviously still mad, but she was trying to obviously help him and say, look, mate, you need to open up to me. You need to tell me what went on in Malivore. The more you tell me, the more I can help. But it wasn't very good, was it, mate? Literally, like, it didn't go well for them at all in this episode. We had an amazing backstory of Cleo. Yeah, she's showing us where she come from, how she got to the position that she was in, where the monsters have been coming from. She was the one that created the leprechaun. Then she created that big thing with the staff where they give them a bit of Landon things, you know, when Rick and that was singing and he was dancing, and they give a bit of clothing and then he closed his hand like that, and it was like we thought he was the one that brought Landon to the present. And then obviously the clay, the golem of Landon, that was her as well, and she was doing all these things, bringing the monsters to life. And we got her backstory and obviously how all of this was happened. When she was a kid, she was like the 7th daughter of the 7th daughter, which made her special. And she sacrificed herself instead of her family and went with Malivore. And he wanted her to create things so that he could consume. So she was creating the monsters, he was consuming them. That's how he's keeping stronger. She then created a body that he could put Malivore inside, the one that could speak, and it had like 4 arms. And you know, he was loving it. And she was like, look, mate, you're like my freedom for this kind of like physical being. He was like, no chance, mate, you're never getting away from me. She's like, well, I didn't tell you about this catch, mate. You can only use that body if I allow it. And she, boom, mate, cast a spell, tied him up, like his hands grabbed hold of it there, and she bounced pretty much. And then the reason why she become in the present is because this little object, you know, they've been trying to open for ages, yeah, Hope threw it into a lake, didn't you? And Cleo was saying, mate, the only person that could open that box is the person that is able to defeat Malivore. That is why obviously she returned to the present. She followed them. She wanted to see what was going on, like who brought her back, and she's obviously come to the conclusion that Hope needs to be activated as a full tribrid to take down Malivore. So I mean, again, they're tying the story in really well. I think they're tying it in really well. It's making a lot of sense to me anyway. It is making sense. And then what we actually seen is always Malivore looked like in the present, the one that Cleo made in the past, the one with the 4 arms, the one that she had like tied up like this. He come back in the present, but he only had 2 arms. I'm assuming that he's like somehow snapped them ones off, the ones that she got to obviously grab hold or something. And that is where Landon and Hope had a fight, not with each other, with him. They successfully obviously took him out, but they destroyed that object at the same time. And like I said, at the end of the episode, Landon went over to her and said, look, mate, too much has gone on. I can't be around you. I'm a danger to you, to everybody else, and you're just not the best when you're around me currently. We've both changed as people. It's one thing's for sure, you know, like, we're opposites. I'm the son of Malivore. You are a person that's supposed to defeat Malivore. We can't be together. And he broke up with her and he left and she was crying. Rick also gave Cleo an option. She can stay at school or she can leave. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to stop her. Yes, she's done some bad things, but after realising the past and the stories, you know, he understood that what she was trying to get out of it does make a lot of sense. She decided to leave as well. It was mad, mate. And then her and Landon both met up at a bus stop at the end, accidentally, but they both want the same thing. They both dream the same dream, and that is to take down Malavo. And they decided to go on the merry way together and look for an alternative plan if Hope's not going to transition, another way to take out Malavo. Interesting. Hope obviously knows as well that she needs to go into the full hybrid mode, tribrid mode. She needs to kill herself if she wants to take down Malavo, which I'm hoping that she does do. And again, that is another great story that we can pursue. If them two are broken up, hopefully Hope does transition, and maybe in season 4 we can focus solely on her and her transition and how much of a beast she's going to come. And finally, to finish off, Finch had a talk around the school. Wasn't going very well. Josie had to bounce as well, and she was left with the wolves. But when she come back, they was fighting. She's having a good time with Jed and the pack, and she said to Josie, "Yeah, do you know what? I am going to sign up." And as far as introducing me to everybody else, you can introduce me as your girlfriend. And then they started kissing, and that's how it finished. So what a great episode. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for today's. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into episode 14 of season 3 of Legacies.
I'd introduce myself, but it doesn't really matter. Problem I've been trying to solve for the longest
18 months
time.
ago.
This artifact, I think, is telling me you're the one who can help me. I don't think anyone deserves to be thrown in a dark hole and forgotten about.
Who is it, mate? It's a blonde girl. I was trying to guess who it was.
And don't forget my scene partner, the Tribrid, as Tybalt, if we can find her.
Not late enough.
You don't wish to let your scene partner down, do you, Miss Michelson?
You know, life is really just a series of disappointments. If you understood that, you'd probably get why I don't really want to dramatize the story of undying teenage love.
She does this all the time, doesn't she?
We've gotten close, at least from what I've seen around school.
We have history together. I'm sorry I can't help Mr. Williams, but if I see MG, I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah, and MG compelled Ethan to steer clear of him weeks ago. Those two should not be hanging out. Yeah, Ethan said they're not. Keep up with any reports of animal attacks in the area.
Wait, do you think something happened to him?
I'm worried about what he's already done.
No, MG's not. MG's not done anything. He's not took anybody out. I'm confident of that one.
Well, you controlled yourself better than on your school tour with Lizzie. Lizzie went on this witchy wellness retreat that Dad thought would be a good idea, but I haven't heard from her in over a week.
I don't know what's more shocking, that you hit that shot or that you guys shower.
Well, you're definitely new around here. As everyone knows, I ball hard.
You dropped something.
Newest
I'm your
member of the
alpha.
pack always cleans up. Werewolf lesson number 2: never question the alpha's rules.
You want to be the man? You gotta beat the man.
It's gonna challenge
You
him.
gotta beat the woman.
Hey, I like it. Alright. Do you know, Jed's already lost to Raph because he was a dick, yeah? Let's be honest, like, again, I'm all for calling spades a spade, right? This guy, when he is the alpha, he demands respect and he doesn't earn it. And this is the reason why people challenge him. This is a massive difference between leadership, yeah, and just poor, like, management, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? If you have a manager at work, yeah, all she's doing every day is palming everything off on you, micromanaging you, like pecking your head all the time, like do this, do that, blah blah blah, and then nobody's gonna like that's gonna be like that guy's annoying, mate. Literally, where if he's like, you know what, I'll help you. You know what do you need? You know, do you need some resources? Do you need extra people? Have you got too much work going on? What can we do to make your life better? Do you know what I mean? You're gonna be like, this guy is decent. Yeah, of course I'll stay an extra hour to do the work. You know, because somebody's there, they're guiding you, they're helping you, they're managing it, they're making everyone feel good. This guy is, when he is the alpha, he's a proper ass. Like, he just treats everybody crap. And he lost last time with Raphael, and the only reason why he's back is because Raph's gone missing or dead or gone to the prison world or whatever. So the guy's lucky. I hope you win. Actually, I hope you win, Finch. You know, it'd be really good to see a female alpha.
We should head into the woods, see if we can find the camp, and try to lay eyes on Lizzie. And what if we walk into a trap? You're acting really weird for someone who's supposed to be worried about her missing sister.
So glad you guys are here. You made really good time.
Oh, she's proper vibing hippie
neither.
style.
Come, I'll show you
As soon as Lizzie leaves that location, she goes back to normality. She's just going to be the same stressful Lizzie, mate, honestly. This reminds me of Midsommar, and that is a mad film.
It looks like Witchapalooza.
Joe told me all about and Lay.
Did she?
We don't worry about dicks here. So you'll forget about that. Andy reframed my former limiting mindset to reflect my emotional goals.
It is well culty, isn't it? It's definitely Midsommar vibes.
With all the crystals.
Each color represents a step on the pathway to enlightenment. Don't mind Samantha. She was Andy's star pupil until I got here.
Afternoon enrichment. All colors on the crystal path are welcome.
It's proper stressing me out. It's, you know, like, stuff like this stresses me out.
I don't fight with girls.
Except when you're knocking them down in a pickup game. Alpha can't turn down any challenge.
Yeah,
No
innit?
matter what it entails. It's an old pool table in storage when I was picking out some stuff for my room.
Deal.
Wait, first of all, that doesn't make any sense, mate. He can't turn down, like, surely he could turn down ridiculous challenges. Like, there should be one challenge, and it should be fight until you submit. Not till you die, till you submit. Not that, you know, I challenge you to a skipping match. Well, I've lost instantly. I might as well not even try. There you go. You're the new alpha. You know what I mean? I can't even skip to save my life. So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be some sort of boundary. And second of all, yeah, how sexist that is that manual thing or whatever they're going? If a female can't challenge to be an alpha, that means that there's never going to be female. And you see in Hayley, she was the best alpha. So, again, Jed, you're going off some old playbook there, mate, because females are just as strong as men.
I've lived in darkness for so many years. That's why I have dedicated myself to helping other witches. Think of this crystal like a mood ring. My ancestors' coven believed that we were ruled by our emotions. Beautiful blue color that Lizzie has just shown us represents complete purity of thought. Now, could I have a less accomplished volunteer so you don't harbor any negative emotion?
I just don't need your help controlling them.
So sorry, bringing you here was a bad idea, and so was you going up.
Okay. I'll touch your rock.
You can touch me.
Is she going to go Zen?
Skin-to-skin contact with an empath can feel overwhelming.
No, I just feel like I'm
enlightened. See it.
Lizzie won't be Zen soon.
Now you're going to do great things together.
Ah, do you know what's mad? Do you know, I've worked at the Manchester Arena before, and there was a show going on where this guy come on stage. Right, there was thousands of people there as well, which baffled me. A guy come on stage. He preaching all about like life and stuff, and like God, and everybody was like possessed. You know, I was just a steward, so I was just stood there at the back, like just sitting looking at the stage, and he was like, God's in you, and then everyone's like jumping around and they're all like flopping on the floor, and I was just like, what the hell's going on here? And then at the end of it, he was like, the spirits have told me somebody's gonna donate £5,000. Is it gonna be you? And everyone's jumping up like, I'll donate money. I'm like, God's sake, man, like this is the most random culty thing I've ever seen. Like people just absolutely possessed by, I don't even know what you'd call it, mate. If God was in them, possessing them, making them flap around and donating money to charity because this guy said it, fair play. But again, man, I feel like it's people like hypnotising and like using them to their own advantage, because this is really interesting what's happened to Hope. And why is it that now Lizzie, yeah, okay, she's not the number one, she's gone to the red, she's been knocked down like she done to that other woman, but does that mean that Lizzie's Zen goals now? Do you know what I'm saying? Because she looks like she was back to old Lizzie fuming again.
Where's your crystal?
I had a bit of a setback. Just got a little jealous when I saw you working with Hope. You chose me to help you lead the purification ritual next week.
Given recent events, I've moved the ceremony up. The ritual will happen later this evening. You know the path that those in the red must take.
The path that the red would take would get absolutely swung and smashed against the wall, mate, like a hammer throw.
It's the thing, we're not in Mystic Falls, we're in Grove Hill. So is MG. Look, MG is a good kid, and you know it.
I need your help. There's a body.
Dorian, no!
Oh, he's too fast. You was too fast on that one. You didn't even let him speak.
You're doing it wrong.
No, she's never done that before.
I'm sorry, I'm not an expert at scrubbing skibbies like you.
Annie's gonna be so happy when I return this. She'll help me back to you.
It's the thing in the gloves.
You don't even know what happened yet. Because you tranked him before we could ask.
Actually, we do. I just found the body of that missing search party member in the woods.
Assuming the worst of people has only ever brought out the worst in me.
See, right, this again, yeah, this is the thing where it's innocent until proven guilty. I never understand when they arrest somebody, yeah, on suspicion, but they tell the whole news. You know what I mean? Face is plastered on the news, it's all over it, yeah? And then, even when it comes out that they are not guilty, yeah, we did, you know, we arrested them because they was around the scene at the time and he matched the description, so that's why we brought them in to question him. Turns out, yeah, the perfectly good alibi, he was nowhere near, he was in the, you know, he was in the pub, he's on CCTV down there in the pub, mate, literally, for the past 4 hours, he was just literally walking past when he was going home or whatnot. Doesn't matter if that story comes out, because 5 million people have already seen that Alaric, for example, is the killer. So, again, but it sticks. You'll have some people who'll always just say, nah, he's the killer. No matter what information comes out. And again, it's one of those, like, you can't judge until you know the facts, yeah? As soon as we know the facts that MG's killed somebody, then you can say, yeah, look him up or whatever. But you can't instant judgment and just assume because he was close to the place. Oh, you know, she's good when she brings her own pill cue.
I'm a werewolf too, and I can hear you talking crap down the hall.
Well, good. Then you know I'm undefeated at the Salvatore School.
You're my alpha, so I feel like I gotta tell you this. All the wolves used to let you in.
She's not even looking. He knows he's fucked. That was swift, actually. She didn't even touch the bed properly.
Warning, avoid dermal contact. There's a psychotropic effect.
Who's there?
Oh, her ass is gonna fall out.
Colin Lafferty. I've lost people I love the way your family lost you. I'm sorry they won't get the closure they deserve. But I'll check in on your family and on the vampire that killed you.
Oh, it's a stag. Quick to judge MG there, wasn't he?
Hope was right. Again, it's definitely a cult. Now let's get the hell out. Her crystal is blue all the time because it's colored glass. Now, what's she up to?
Oh, look at them all. It brings her.
Joe, are you okay?
Add some. No. Stay with that.
Ah, mate, that was pretty decent. First of all, Hope was in the trance and then out of the trance. I wonder if that whack against the thing. Yeah, and why is this person working for Triad? Or why is she just stole the things and she's running out and now she's like, oh, I can finally be free. Do you know what I mean? Like, why did she want Hope's dark powers? Obviously, these are going to be all the answers we get in this episode, but you've got to ask yourself that as you're watching along, haven't you? Like, why is it that she wanted this ritual to happen? She wanted enough power, strength. What is she going to get from it? I'm really excited.
You lying, traitorous phony.
I could say the same to you. Sneaking in here and breaking my things. One drop of this on my gloves is normally enough to make every witch here worship me.
Well, the gloves are off now, bitch.
Should have seen what Triad did to witches that stuff didn't work on. Locked in cells and forced to do their bidding.
Sob story would land a little better if you weren't doing the same thing to every witch here.
You wanted to see me, Andy?
Why don't you bring her down for the grand finale?
I'm still your alpha. Not for long, bro.
Sink it, and I'm the leader of the pack, right?
She's going to miss on purpose.
Those are the rules.
Shows that she's a good person.
I probably like being mind controlled because that was basically our dynamic. Worried about me and Hope and completely neglecting your own happiness with Finch in the process.
Now you're the one that indoctrinated us into a freaking cult, and I'm back to normal. You are brilliant, and I love you.
I'll be shouting London, me, innit? Just shout London from the treetops.
You just need to tie me up again.
Wendigo.
It's never a Wendigo.
Until today. I mixed in with the show before I ran, but
This is where MG's been hiding out.
I was wrong about him. I read his journal. MG must have got the blood on him from trying to stop the Wendigo.
I don't think I can do this. Hope's feeling good now, but I have a decade of petty resentments to spew that'll change all of that in a heartbeat.
Just before we go into this, right, it just shows how good of an actress that they are, right? Because Josie's trying to act like she's under control now, and you can tell that she's acting. You can tell that she's acting, yeah. We're watching it and you can tell that she's acting like she's under control. But when she is fully under control, you can't tell that she's acting. You think, and it just shows that that is talent, mate, honestly. Like, acting is so hard. It actually really is. And you just see it when somebody clicks into a scene and they do it and then they click out of it. You're like, that is true talent right there, people.
Hope Andrea Michelson.
Ah.
Well, aren't you gonna say anything?
That crystal doesn't work on you and blue isn't your color. I hate that I have to do this because all I've ever wanted for you is happiness, but you're mad at Landon. And you're blaming him for the breakup. You and Landon have been biologically incompatible since he literally dissolved after having sex with you.
Hey.
This is the part where you attack me and deeply regret it later.
Hey, that's what I like. That was good, that.
How the hell am I supposed to know? It's never a Wendigo.
Oh, check MG.
Thanks for distracting them for me. Wendigos have hearts of ice. It's their weakness. I had Wendigo in the monster pool.
Oh, we've not seen Hope dominate.
There's only one last thing to take care of.
I needed a lot of witches with a lot of power who wouldn't ask any question. All I know is it was a summoning ritual. For what wasn't my concern. Do you remember? Is that our deal was bound by an unbreakable covenant spell, which means I will die. Is that the three of you will have to deal with whatever my death brings.
So much for peace of mind.
What I would have done is free one of them people that was laying the floor down there, me.
Should we tell ghost stories?
Tale of the crappy friend who told you you deserved to be dumb.
It's like you need to hear that it's okay to let yourself be happy.
I think I figured out what Andy was trying to do.
Oh my god.
And this is the wolf of the hour right here!
You need a drink?
Not my thing.
Maybe it's not fair to the pack to just say whoever's the best at fighting or whatever is the best leader for them. It's like you scratching the 8-ball doesn't make me better than you at pool.
Think how much it means to you. How much you care about the pack.
You know, back in the day, I would have called you weak for throwing the game.
Well, then if you can change, maybe the rules can too.
He's learning about respect. Never had it before, I say. Never give it either.
Just a few stitches and one whopper of a lie to his doctor later. We shouldn't have worried about you. Your journal made that clear.
I'm trying.
You always come back to school.
Get back to Lizzie, mate.
I didn't compel Ethan when you told me to. Yeah, I want to come back, but I don't want to stop helping people either.
Let's do both.
Isn't it? Not wrong with that, helping people.
Lizzie, we're all
Unless that's bad.
Guys, we have to pull it together, okay? We need to be ready to fight.
I came here because I thought I was messed up. But look at me.
I want that
We
sweet,
set up the
mate.
trap. It's one of us on each side of the hole, and we blast it with whatever spell that we've got.
Oh, check this, mate.
Still high as a kite, but at least we're not pandas anymore.
What the hell, mate? What's that? Star Wars? Oh, and it's ended. That is well interesting, mate. You need to get MG across. He'd be loving it. Well, I mean, obviously, he won't be loving a monster, but he'd be loving like it looks like it's from a comic. Definitely looks like it's from Star Wars. First of all, pandas. They are a sick animal. Have you ever seen a panda, like, in the zoo or any panda videos, mate? No wonder, like, they're nearly extinct. They say they do the maddest, craziest stuff. They put their own life in danger. They always roll around everywhere, like, falling off things, falling out of trees and that. I do love a good panda. They are sick. That was funny, that end team. Didn't even have Landon in this episode one time. That was really interesting. We had something relating to Triad and Ryan at the start. I'm assuming that the woman that dived into the pit at the end, she was the one that was locked up in the chamber at the start of the episode, because she was saying it only happened like 18 months ago. I'm pretty sure that's what happened at the start of the episode, and she can't remember who told her to do it other than if she don't go through the ritual that she'll die, and then it needed a human sacrifice, and because it wasn't going to happen, she sacrificed herself, you know, and she was just loving it for the fact that whatever comes into the present now would cause chaos and destruction to the E3. But when Josie was trying to act like she was under the spell, you could tell, but throughout the whole episode, when she was actually under the spell, you couldn't. So again, really good acting from these. I liked it. MG as well. protecting the humans whilst also, you know, wanting to possibly come back to the school now. And I do like how MG tells the truth all of the time. You know, he never had to tell Rick then that he didn't compel Ethan the first time around, but he learned from his mistakes, but he did tell him, and that's what I do like about him. Sometimes he says it too early, he says it wrongly as well. I definitely think when he met his dad, they told him that he was a vampire. It was too early and not the right situation for it. It was too overwhelming. The fact that his son was alive for the first time, or whatever he didn't need to know that part. So sometimes honesty is too much in certain situations, but you got to respect it as well. So I do like it, and I want him to come back to the school, and I'll be consistent. Him and Lizzie need to get together real bad. I would absolutely love it. And that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. Like I said at the start, you can vote for your most liked and disliked characters of the season. Just check the description below, get voted, and we will reveal those at the end of the season. But this one was intriguing. Landon wasn't in it, but he was Hope's trigger in this episode. Obviously, they went to this retreat where this woman was using some sort of, I don't know, liquid or something. She's putting it on her gloves, and a little touch of that can literally take control of your whole body, so to speak. It was making everybody zen, and what she needed is enough people, enough witches, enough power to do a sacrifice that will obviously give her the deal that she made with Ryan at the start. You know, we never got told what it actually was, the deal that she made, and she said she couldn't even remember who it was. She just knew that if it never happened and she didn't get enough people and she didn't have enough power, that she would die herself. Now obviously Hope was the key. She touched her, she's like, wow mate, this witch is strong, we need to move the ritual up, we need to get it done, and obviously we need to sacrifice, well, a human. It looked like, I don't know actually who it was going to be. Is he going to sacrifice Lizzie? Because obviously she found out, and she was like, right, you're the one that's getting sacrificed, mate. It can't be having you blabbering your, you know, like what you found out to everybody else. But she used her smart powers, Lizzie. She realised that the more like you infiltrate somebody's feelings, the more they brings them back to reality. She ended up telling obviously Josie loads of different things about being insecure, following people, and being a sheep, and always like being in the exact same situation that she was with Lizzie when we was first introduced. And then obviously like people, she thinks she's all independent now and she's leaving, but now she's back and all that, and it worked. She's come back in the present. She jumped up Josie, she was mad, and she was like, oh, actually I love you, like nice one, let's get going. Come up with a great idea to save Hope as well. I knew it was just Landon. I said, shout it from the rooftops, mate. Just shout Landon, Landon, Landon. It would get inside her head. Josie started having the conversations, kept saying his name, stop saying it, stop saying it, stop saying it. Boom. Brought Hope back into the present. And then she dived over that top rope or whatever in it, mate. Landed on the floor like an absolute badass. Sadly, we didn't get to see her in the combat. Now, one negative thing that I would say about the show is that when a good combat scene could be shown visually to us, it doesn't actually happen. Like, we always get the cutscene and everybody on the floor, which I'm a little disappointed with because I actually really love fighting. I love it, mate. How much, like, would you not... I think, yeah, personally, if I seen Hope in fighting scenes, I'll be way more into the Hope character. It's not that I don't like her right now, but we could take it anyone. I'm just using Hope for example because it was her. But say it was Finch or Jed or Wade. If we watched 14 episodes this season, if in 4 of them they had a good fight, they come up against a monster, they had a good battle, loads of different combat scenes, loads of flips, loads of knockouts, loads of killings, you'd be like, get in there, mate. What an absolute badass. I love that character. I'm Team Hope. Do you know what I'm saying? But it just cuts. When the dragon come, I think, what was it? Is that in episode 2 of season 1? We didn't even see anything that happened to it. Yeah, I think she's on a killing spell holding a knife, but again, it was just dragon flying towards him, scene cut, dragon dead. And again, I think that we missed a trick with the combat because I think it makes me, anyway, in my personal opinion, gives me an attachment towards him and somebody I can get behind. I think that is an absolute beast. And that is it. Its actions is what draws you to people, literally. If you have a character in it who's boring, who's not involved in anything, you're never really going to be behind him. Matt, for example, characters that's always involved in lots of chaos, like Stefan and Damon, always going to be following Team Damon, Team Stefan. Nobody's Team Max is boring, and that is why I think that we need to get more combat, more fighting. That's why I'm excited for season 4. I actually fully believe Hope is going to transition into a tribid, and I think, well, not I think, this is what I would like, is when that is activated, just combat central, mate. Loads of fights, loads of attacks, loads of monsters, loads of, like, literally threats coming to the school, and an absolute beast of a Hope. That is my one wish, honestly, because I've enjoyed Hope from 1, 2, and 3. I've enjoyed that, actually have. But she's never won my favourite character yet. Obviously, we've not done the season 3 vote, but season 1 and 2, she didn't win my favourite character. And obviously, we've got this one. But I'm hoping she wins it in season 4, because I think that is where we can elevate her. And that is where I think the direction that we need to take to fully focus on the Michelson. Because yes, we did have the originals coming into this. And yes, it was all on Always and Forever and the Michelsons and Hope. You know, the consequences of Hope being alive played a massive factor in the ending of the originals and getting to where she is today. And I feel like this show has been great. The show's great. I actually like it. I have been consistent with everybody gets screen time, which is a positive for me. I love all the characters, and I do like how people are in like a few episodes and they drop out for a bit and other people come in because it gives everybody enough time. But I also think that we need to bring the Michelson name in to the factor. I'm Hope Michelson. Don't have to be anything to do with Klaus or Elijah or anything, but I'm Hope Michelson, the Tribrid, and I am the one that's going to defeat everyone, defeat Malivore. I am the strongest, I am the best, I am the Tribrid. Challenge me if you dare. Do you know what I'm saying? That is what I'm waiting for. That's what I expected when we come into the show. And then we got a different angle, which I'm totally fine by. I love all the different characters. Like I said, so much goes on that you don't really need it. But I feel like for Hope's personal gain, it'd be so good if we went in that way. But yeah, really interesting. Finch obviously challenged Jed to be the alpha. She was going to win. She realised that she doesn't really care about being the alpha. It's just that they wasn't giving her any respect. And she threw her chance, obviously, to take the lead because she could tell how much it actually means to Jed. And I think that actually improved Jed's outlook, mindset on things. That they have got crappy old traditions that they follow. And they do need to respect people even more. 2 times, 2 new people have come in and both challenged him and was both going to win. And why have both new people challenged him? Because he showed no respect to them. So, again, maybe he could change his ways. But it was a good episode and I did enjoy it. And if you guys can't wait for the next one, and obviously the finale, the one after it, please smash the like. Really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.